it doesn't take much to make your lymphatic system healthy. And again, for us to be healthy, we have to have a healthy lymphatic system because it must maintain every system of our body. Really, it's meant to maintain our cells. So, to keep our cells healthy, they need oxygen, they need to get fresh blood, and they need to remove their waste. And that's what we're going to talk about here. So the first step is deep breathing. And there's a certain way to breathe. Just take a deep breath in and let it out with a little force. When we let it out with force, it actually creates a wave of venous fluid and lymph fluid through your body. When we don't take a deep breath and let it out with force, we're not moving fluid as efficiently through our body. So again, deep breathing, and don't just do it when you have exercise. If you're a person who sits by a computer for more than 6 hours a day, you should be taking deep breaths every 15 minutes. Just, put a sign, take deep breaths. And you can take 2 deep breaths through your nose, which pulls more from your head, and then you can take 2 deep breaths from your mouth. And basically, you just take 2 to 3 deep breaths, let it out, then take 2 regular breaths, and then take 2 deep breaths, and then take 2 regular breaths. But I think you get the idea. This is really something they have you do in a hospital. When you've had surgery or recuperating, they have you do breathing exercises. So again, just from doing that little bit, I feel tingling, I feel warmth in my body, and I feel some relaxation, because when we get the lymph system going, we feel better. A system of our body is actually working to maintain our cells. So the next thing is posture. And I'm going to turn to the side so we can see this. If we stand straight, we're a plumbing system. It tends to flow better. But as soon as we slouch, there it goes. Just that little slouch backed up my abdomen, my lower body, and lymph flow is backing up into my head. So there you go. That little bit of a change makes a difference. So if you have a really bad posture, you might not be able to get way up. But if you have a bad posture and you just get a little straighter, you'll make a difference in your lymphatic system. So even in our abdomen, we have a cisterna chyli, 3 vessels that go into one vessel that goes into your neck, into the vein in your neck. Well, if these 3 vessels get crimped because you're bending over a lot, then we're creating a lot of our digestive problems and any problems in our lower body, hip problems, knee problems, sciatic problems. So again, standing straight is so important. Don't have your children reading and slouching. Have them sit with a straight back. If you're driving in your car, adjust your mirror so you have to sit up straight instead of slouching. All these little things make a difference. So deep breathing, posture. Well, of course, we have to think of exercise, right? We think of going to the gym a few days a week, but it's really, we have to think of doing exercise every day. Every day, 500 million cells are dying in your body because our cells are always replicating. And if you're taking antibiotics or steroids or other medications, then you may have more cellular death. So the idea is to do a little exercise every day to move your blood, to pump it through your organs, through your lymph system, through your brain is really important. If you want to lose weight, you need exercise maybe 15 minutes twice a day or a half hour twice a day. Really to stimulate that motion, the lymph flow, to move that waste and pick up all that waste and fat out of the body. Make the exercise easy. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to go to a gym. Hey, just dance around a little bit, Put your hands over your head, stretch, move your legs up and down. Believe it or not, this is exercise. If you're a person who doesn't do any exercise, stretch. That is moving blood. I feel tingling in my shoulders. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be, long. It just, we have to have the idea that if we don't move our blood to move through our organs, our brain, then we're going to fill with waste and it's going to interfere with good health. The next thing is hydration. When our body is dehydrated, we're 60 to 70% water. Our lymph fluid is actually over 90% water. When we become dehydrated, our lymph system becomes like a dry riverbed, and it's not going to flow as effectively. So the lymph vessels could become like glued together when there's not enough water, when there's not enough hydration. So again, we want to be well hydrated. Now, we want to think about what type of water we're drinking. For many years, I drank RO water, reverse osmosis. Living here in Arizona, a lot of people drink that. It's not the best choice of water. Some countries actually have, they don't allow RO water to be sold. And really, it's simple. When you do a reverse osmosis, you are removing all of the minerals in the water, and now you're drinking acid water. So that can interfere with our body, because first grade science is homeostasis, right? Our body is always moving between acid and alkaline. It wants to be in balance, neutral. Well, if we're always putting in acid water, then we're going to become acidic. So we want to drink water through a refrigerator filter that's not connected to an RO filter. We want to drink spring water from the store. You can do that, or you can drink alkaline water. Again, I would only drink RO or distilled water for a short period of time for a specific reason, to clean the body, but I wouldn't do it for long periods of time. But again, hydration. Most people are dehydrated. I've done studies where people, drink 2 to 3 glasses of water a day, but drink coffee, soda, and beer. I've heard from a few people who actually told me that, I don't drink water because it makes me feel sick when I drink water. They only drink soda, coffee, beer. Well, understand that when we don't drink water, then waste doesn't come out. Water is a way we remove waste from our body, good water. And when we drink just acid things, coffee, soda, beer, then we're restricting our body and we're allowing waste to build. So then when you drink water, it releases that waste and you feel sick. So once we understand how the lymphatic system, if it's not working, we're filling with waste. When we're dehydrated, you can see how it's very important that we're hydrated to make this river of lymph flow. So it's really important to understand pH, and that means percent hydrogen, where it can be either acid or alkaline. The pH scale goes from 0 to 14, 14 being very alkaline, 0 being very acidic, and 7 being neutral. Know that studies have proven that they've taken a cell from the body, they put it into a petri dish at 7.6, they put it into a petri dish of 6.9, which is 1/10 below 7, very little below 7, neutral, and the cell's ability to deal with insulin was cut by 50%. It shows you how that when we're acidic, our cells don't function. So really, we have to make sure that we're alkaline. And there's a very simple test strip that you can use. You can get it at most stores. VAXA, V-A-X-A, has a very easy to read test strip. And all you do is test your saliva and urine. And you do this over a few days, a couple of times a day. And you do it after fasting for an hour and a half to 2 hours. You can have water up to an hour before your test. But it really gives you an understanding of, are my tissues acidic or not? And really what we're testing is our saliva is telling us what's going on in our head and our mouth, when our urine, testing our urine pH, is really showing you what's leaving the body. And very often, many people are testing at 5.0, which is 100 times more acidic than we're supposed to be. And then we wonder why we have kidney disease or diseases in our body because of all this acidity. And you may not think it's important to understand pH, but it is. It's essential. It's first grade science. Homeostasis. We need to know for us to live, for our cells to have health, if we're acid or alkaline. We always want to be moving, right? But really, we're stuck in acid. We want to be moving back and forth, but we can see, because we spend $50 billion a year on antacids and products like Prilosec, that we have an acid problem. So here's how simple acid could be affecting us. Once I ran across a mom at my daughter's dance class. Her 10-month-old daughter was going to have some scoping done because she was having bad digestive issues. And I happened to mention acid to the woman, and she said, I'm surprised you mentioned acid, because when I tasted my breast milk, it was sour, it tasted like acid. Well, I've tested that many times, and really we have to understand what's happening here, especially if you're breastfeeding. The mother becomes slightly acidic, her breast milk becomes slightly acidic, and now you're giving your child, you're introducing them into life through soured breast milk, which is making them acidic and giving them colic and digestive issues. It really makes sense once we start thinking about this. Then we introduce vaccines and we introduce acid foods, and our child becomes very acidic and starts having major problems. So again, understanding pH and understanding that it can get the lymphatic system flowing, because when we're acidic, we constrict. When we're alkaline, we give up waste. That's the simplicity of it. So again, 5 steps. Deep breathe often. Sit up more straight and sit more straight. Good posture to make flow happen. We're a plumbing system. Exercise every day. It's your responsibility. Nobody else could do this for you. Lean on a countertop that's against a wall and do some push-ups. Again, I told you about dancing. Stretch. But we need to get our aerobic system going to get the blood going. And then hydration. It's very important that you're drinking water. And again, water is not acidic. Some alkaline water, anything that's over 7.5. And a refrigerator filter works really great, or a pure filter. But it really is the idea that it's about pH. We're missing that. We are having acid problems in our body. It changes our fluid in our body, and we constrict. And when we constrict, we fill with waste and we become ill. We become filled with inflammation. So if we want to be healthy, we have to follow, are we acid or are we alkaline? We want to follow homeostasis, basic first grade science, and become in neutral. Once we're in neutral, our body can actually flow better and we do much better. So if this makes sense to you, please tell others about our 5 steps to maintain the lymphatic system. It's something that every one of us must understand. Everybody has a lymphatic system and must know how to maintain it to improve circulation and detoxification in their body. If this makes sense, please tell somebody about our lymphaticrei.org and the Lymphatic Research and Education Institute. Thank you.